Okay, so this is part 3. I left off with the fallacy detective and what we're going to be doing for faith and logic. The last things that we have are history and science. So for history and life skills. So for history, what I did is I made this curriculum. As you can see, it's got American history on it. I don't know why I put the sticky note on the wrong side. Okay, so the way I made this is I started with a base text, which is our American heritage, and I took out a lot of the pages. And I'm probably, as you can see, like I mangled this book. But we used it last year, and this year I'm going to integrate what's in this book with a whole lot of supplementing. So that's how I ended up, just making the whole thing, because what this basically is are different figures in American history, but it's not an extensive actual American history. So I took this book and I used a website called Ducksters. Now that, I need to remind myself to get Oregon Trail. Okay. So I don't know if that's something that's is popular or people know about, but there's a website called Ducksters.com. And they have tons and tons of information about all different types of subjects. So what I did was I took our American heritage and I broke it up and I kind of wove it in with information from Ducksters. And then I highlighted things that I wanted to, highlighted things from my printouts that I wanted to hammer home. And then at the beginning, if you can see, I've got these little, yellow tabs right here, and on each of these tabs are learning goals, when to take tests, when field trips are going to be scheduled, all that stuff. And as you can see, I use these thingies right here a lot. So that's pretty much our history. And the way that we do history is we it's not really something that we do a lot of writing with. It's more discussion and field trips. Occasionally we'll do projects, but it's not really like a writing type of thing. So as you can see, I've got, in some places, multiple notes on stuff, and that's how we do our history. So that's what we're going to be studying. We're going to start from pre-Columbus America. Well, we're going to talk about pre-Columbus America, and then we're going to talk about other people who discovered America, and then we're going to be dealing with all the way up to the Civil War, and possibly further than that. It just depends. For science, I did the same thing, but we started this curriculum last year, and we're going to finish it. So we're just going to finish this curriculum here, which, McMillan McGraw, and this is a regular public school textbook that I actually found. It was donated to Goodwill, and I actually ordered the textbook. I found this book, and it is a reading book, like reading worksheets, but it's aligned to the science book. So it's a really good way to get the science facts memorized. So he's gotten a lot of this book done. As you can see, he's gotten a lot of it done. So we're just going to finish that up. And after that, the rest of our science curriculum is also a lot of Ducksters, a lot of highlighted stuff that we're going to be doing, and some Spectrum. So I took some Spectrum sheets from Spectrum 3rd grade science, and so the worksheets that you see in here, and this right here is also from Spectrum. So I did the same thing I did with our American Heritage. I did it to a Spectrum book. I just ripped out some of the pages. So most of the Spectrum book is actually in the back here. As you can see, this is really thick. So in the back is all the Spectrum book, and the worksheets up here are actually copies. So I've also got the same little notes here, as you can see, and the highlighted parts. And the notes say, it's our learning goals, field trips, when we're going to have tests, and, all that stuff. So that's what that is, and I used a lot of that. So I think, let's see. Yeah, so we've got a lot of projects and experiments that we're going to do with our science. So I'm really excited about that. I have a lot of notes in horrid handwriting. Okay, so the last thing that we have is our life skills folder, which has almost nothing in it right now, but a little bit of paper. And what our life skills folder is going to get filled up with is different things that we're going to do in the community. So we're going to take trips out to the movies, to restaurants. We're looking at doing some taekwondo, so we're getting some information about that. And what life skills is going to be is he's just going to be learning how to do different things. So when he goes to the movies, we'll do some prep before, and that's actually going to be our first project. He's going to be looking up the movie that he wants to go see online. He's going to find a time and a date, all that stuff, how much he's going to need, if he wants snacks, you know, all that, and how long will it take him to save the money that he needs. So basically, you know, just planning a trip to the movies, and I'm going to let him do, you know, as much of that as he possibly can by himself. So when we go, he'll be, you know, dealing with the cashier on his own. You know, I'll be there, obviously, and I'll be standing behind him or beside him, but I'll let him, you know, pay for it himself, deal with the people behind the counter, and, you know, he'll have a chance to use his people skills that are developing, and you know, stuff like that. So that's what life skills is going to be about. We're going to be doing some cooking projects. We're going to be working on our laundry doing skills, which we started last year, but we still have a little bit of work to do. But he does really well with that right now, but we do need some practice. So that is basically our curriculum, and I'm running out of time really quickly, so I'm just doing a quick overview, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Thank you.